Hey everybody, welcome to We Run on Reruns. I'm Amanda and I'm here with my brother Eric.
What's up everybody? We are here with season 7 of Friends. We are talking about episodes 13 and 14 today. That is the one where Rosita dies and the one where they all turn 30. And before we go any farther, I just want to thank you, all of you who have left 5-star ratings on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We went through it the other week, how to find them. If you are still looking, they're there. Spotify's got a 3-dot situation on the podcasts, and Apple Podcasts, you kind of scroll down. But just make sure you're not on the episode, be on the full podcast. That's where you find those ratings.
And I'm sure there's ratings on the other platforms too, because we're on like every single platform, but we're not as familiar with all of them. I'm sure there's a rating system out there. Whatever you can do to help, we just greatly appreciate it, because the more you guys rate us, the more visibility we have for others who are also interested, and we just really appreciate the support so early on in our podcasting. So, as a reminder of where we left things off last week, we had Rachel and Chandler eating cheesecake that they were accidentally delivered. We also saw, yes, best scene was when Joey dove in at the end there.
Oh well, that's true.
Had his secret fork stashed away. We also saw Phoebe running into David, and she had to break off a date with Joey to go see him. We also saw Monica getting outraged that she wasn't invited to her cousin's wedding because they are blood relatives. Blood.
Say blood one more time. Like, okay.
We also saw Ross and Joey getting stuck on their roof, and Phoebe battling her smoke detector, as well as Rachel blaming Tag for her own error at work. So that was all in that, like the one where they were up all night in that second episode. So those were some good ones for sure. I know that this season, as far as IMDb ratings, I think from the fans we've noticed has been slightly lower. Friends always gets good ratings, but this one has been like slightly lower on average season. But we're excited to see where things, I think, shake out toward the end, and especially as we progress into season 8, like how things turn around. I've never really taken a close look at IMDb ratings like this before, so it's just kind of interesting to see like the wave of enjoyment from others out there.
Yeah, I would say seasons 4 and 5 in general seem to be like the highest rated ones that we've run into so far. Season 7 definitely,
I agree with that.
Definitely started on the low side, and I think part of it is you don't have Ross and Rachel like going after each other. There's no like Monica and Chandler hiding secrets and doing things like that. Like they're just together, so everyone's kind of just happy where they are at the moment, and that has kind of changed the dynamic.
That's so true. There just isn't as much chaos, and we love the chaos. So
chaos.
Really is almost like a transition season. And yeah, the chaos is the best. I mean, especially I feel like being a big Ross fan, as we are too, we just aren't getting that same level of Ross chaos in these episodes in particular. So and we're seeing Chandler being all happy with Monica, so it's like it's just different.
Well, which is why I think this is why I've had Joey as my favorite character for a long time running now.
Joey is shining.
He has really stepped up in this time where everybody else is kind of doing something a little different. He seems to be really carrying the torch, and he hasn't had a run like this, or any of them have had a run like this, I feel like, in a while, and it will still carry through some today. We'll see where I decide to go at the end, but he has a great pair of episodes here.
I have a confession to make before we dive into episode 13 here. Eric, the title, the one where Rosita dies, and I've seen Friends countless times. I had a moment where I'm like, who the hell is Rosita?
Oh, come on now.
I forgot
come
until it
on
started.
now.
I'm like, oh, for the love of God, I have to confess. I did not remember Rosita was the chair.
Oh, that's
Stevie
shameful.
the TV.
That is.
I know.
That is. I don't know if we can do this podcast anymore. I think we might have to hang it up. Like,
I
know. That's not an acceptable
we
answer.
had a good run. Yeah, one of my favorite parts of this episode is where Chandler reinforces the fact that these are the names of their objects out there.
He knew them.
Well, at his old apartment.
He knew them.
He knew them quite well. So, all right, we'll get into it.
Well, let's jump into it now. We do have the one where Rosita dies. That is episode 13 of season 7, and in this one, as Amanda is mentioning, Joey's chair, Rosita, breaks because Rachel was trying to move it. We also have Monica's memories getting ruined by the flood in the garage. And we have, Phoebe, who now is taking a job selling toner, of all things, where she is going to be cold calling people. And trying to sell different office managers the toner from this company. And she gets to learn the call sheet and how it all goes. And the first person she calls is Earl, better known as Jason Alexander, George Costanza from Seinfeld. And George/Earl, in this case, is going to kill himself. So he doesn't really need any more toner. And Phoebe struggles to figure out how to respond, ends up just keeping him on the phone, and then when he hangs up, decides to personally track this guy down and have a conversation with him to attempt to prevent him from committing suicide. Amanda, what do you want to jump into with this storyline?
This is one of the most random storylines because we never see Phoebe in a telemarketing job ever again. This is just for the day. That might have been the only call that she even made. I feel like that might have been, but yeah. Ross suggested that she went down this path to maybe make some extra money because things are not going so well with her massage business. So it's like, hey, I like that idea. Get a side job. I love the fact that, she's showing up. Her boss is giving her like the briefest tutorial ever. She's just having to read off of a script. And she says to her boss, yes, I have one question. What is toner?
Yeah, no idea what she's doing.
But Eric, as a former office manager, I have to say, these calls were a real thing. And anyone who has received them will, I'm sure, also agree, they were always a scam. Like they would basically try to get you to pay for something, and then it wasn't actually a toner business. Like this was a scam, and you did not get product. They just would say, "Oh, we know that you have a printer or whatever that needs toner. Give us your address," and then you would just start getting billed for stuff that wouldn't actually show up, or they'd try to get your payment information. Not real.
The most cold calling for something like that I ever did was actually at the school that I went to, the university, when I was calling for donation money. I was one of those people that I'm sure all of you who have attended a school at college or university at some point have gotten a call asking for donations to your university.
Sure.
I was not good. I was terrible at it, in fact, but it was fine. Got a couple extra bucks from it. It didn't take up a lot of my time. But there was a lot of hey, call this person and let them know that, we're calling again because we saw that you donated for the whatever and we were looking for donations again, which implies that this current donation is going to go towards the thing that you've already donated for. And in fact, it might not. And so if you don't ask enough questions, who knows where that money is going? I don't know that I'm willing to call it a scam as much because it's donations going towards the university.
Oh no, that sounds like a legitimate thing.
Well, but it's still kind of, it's still not super honest in the way that they were doing it. Because like I said, if I see that you've donated before, I'm going to call you and say, hey, donate for I saw that you donated for our new football program. We just wanted to let you know that we're calling again for donations. You donated X dollars. Can I put you down for that again this year? Even though we're not really looking for donations for the football field. We're really looking for donations for this other thing. And I never said that.
Oh, you
and so,
sneaky devil.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So people are just like, oh, yeah, put me down again. I'll do it again this year. Or not realizing that it wasn't really a year ago. It was only like 6 months ago.
But it's for the school.
It is still donating to the school. And I think most people don't care really. They're trying to donate to the school.
Just give money to
To which I'll say this. Hey, listen, you already paid them tuition. You don't owe them any donation money. Just saying.
Oh gosh, that's yeah. When the school that I graduated from, they just kept asking, then you're on a donation list, and it's like, I'm still paying off my loans. Like, calm down. No, I am not in the business of sending donations.
No, I'm still paying you for the first time I was there. Thank you very much. No, thank you.
Yeah. But here I was more on the receiving end, so on the George Costanza side in my experience, but
it's not George Costanza in this case. It's Earl.
Okay, it's Earl. Okay. Yeah, he definitely was not the George Costanza. He did not have his flair. He
had some flair though. But let me. Hey,
this was the most depressing environment, Eric, that he worked in.
Absolutely.
Wow.
No doubt about it. Which does correlate to a George type of scenario.
Lord.
I will say this. I'm willing to put my hat on this and stand on it. If Jason Alexander was not the guest star, no one would remember or care about this scene at all.
No, it completely was because he was on the receiving end of this call. I wonder how this all came to be too. I feel like they probably approached him, just wanted him to appear in some role, and maybe they figured this out together. I don't know. I can't imagine it with anyone else. If it was anyone else, it would have been scrapped.
No, again, it's Phoebe with a guest star, right? It's not Phoebe interacting with anybody else really from the show. She's isolated on her own with the guest star, and I feel like we saw that a lot early. And here we are again, and I just don't care for this scene very much. I love the fact that they got Jason Alexander on the show. And I think some of the back and forth between them is fine, but overall, whatever. Although the funniest parts of this are like what you said. It is the how bad is this office when he can stand up in his cubicle with 5, 6, 7 people around him going, "Hey guys, I'm gonna kill myself." And nobody even looks up. No one even looks up.
What is happening?
It is crazy. I would say, hey, listen, Earl, go find another job.
Yeah, Earl, you need to leave that job immediately.
Listen, they're not even going to know. Just stop showing up, and they'll still pay you, probably.
Paying you. Yeah. Probably. I mean, this is a very dark comedy, dark commentary on office politics. I will say that. This is really dark. I do love where, he starts off by saying, I don't need any toner because I'm going to kill myself. And Phoebe starts flipping through
the book. Yeah.
Looking for, how do I respond to that? Is that because you're out of toner?
Right.
And even on his little to-do list on his wall, it says "kill self" on public, in public display. Right this is horrible. This is horrible.
Well, and Phoebe's flipping through that because the trainer said, "Hey, listen, anytime they're always going to say they can't, and the answer to everything they bring up is in this book." Well, that's a heck of a first thing to be brought up, and I don't think they put "kill self" in the book.
No. And then she whispers back, Chandler.
Yeah, that was funny. He's like, I've been at the same dead-end job for 10 years and nobody knows who I am. She just whispers in, Chandler? He's like, what? Never mind.
That was probably the funniest.
That was probably the biggest laugh. That, and then at the end, when she finally does get Earl to not kill himself, he is then yelling to the people around him, "See that? I don't need any of you. Like, the universe cares about me." And then he looks at Phoebe. He's like, "I do wish they'd care a little bit." It's like, yeah, Earl, get out. Like, just walk out now, man. Like, go work anywhere else.
Anywhere else at all. This is horrible. These are horrible people. Also the fact that Phoebe just happened to call someone who was, I'm assuming, local.
I imagine. Well, it's New York, right? It's got to be close enough.
Right, but it's like, so you're only, I don't know. You could be doing telemarketing to anyone in the world.
Okay,
so it's
you are not wrong about that. You know? I guess in my head, I immediately said, oh, this is like a small time toner company that's only got like local delivery or whatever.
Sure.
That being said, I mean, for a small time toner company, they've got like 6 people making phone calls. So they're not that small.
I know.
Anyway.
Well,
the next thing on this list of things to talk about is the boxes.
Yes.
Like, Monica and Ross are going to visit the parents because the parents are selling the house. And so they're going to collect their memories because Judy and Jack can't store them in the garage any longer. So Ross and Monica take the trip to the parents' house to go gather up their boxes, only to find out that Ross's boxes are totally fine and up on a shelf, dry. Monica's boxes were all used to barricade the Porsche from a flood.
Okay.
And so, well, hold on. And so the boxes are ruined. Monica's whole childhood memories are ruined. And instead, as Jack is coming to terms with the idea that maybe they did favor Ross a little too much, he decides to hand Monica the keys to his Porsche. And Monica gets the Porsche while Ross stands screaming, "But I'm a medical marvel!"
Oh my God, Ross with the medical marvel. I guess we do get a little bit of Ross chaos.
Yes, we sure do. We do.
But it's for a moment. But oh my, Eric, this is just really bad. I mean, first of all, they have just such a strange relationship with their parents. They only find out that they're moving because it's in the paper. What?
Yeah, I have a few questions about this storyline as well.
They're flipping through the paper. They're like, "That's our house."
Yep.
And our house is on the market.
Not only do they find out about it through the newspaper, but they have to make a phone call. They get verification that it's happening. And it really bothers me that, one, we never see Judy.
And she's not in this.
She's not in this at all. And 2, where are they moving to?
Did they ever establish
No,
that?
because they clearly don't go far enough away that suddenly they're not in shows.
No.
They're in plenty more episodes, and we see them both all the time. There was no mention of needing to downsize or anything like that. I don't think. So what are they doing?
He just wanted to get out of the house because the crack in the foundation and the asbestos in the ceiling. And I can imagine they have a mold problem if they're letting 2 inches of water get in their garage every spring.
Based on Monica's boxes, it sure does look like they have a mold problem.
What? And Eric, I'm sorry. Are cardboard boxes going to stop 2 inches of water every spring in your garage? I mean,
no.
That sounds
not
like
the last time I checked.
What cardboard boxes are not like water repellent. Like that's not going to work.
No, it's not. No. Not even a little.
This is this is not good. That's so bad, and it would just be a really bad situation. I love Jack with the cigarettes when Ross finds them.
That's good.
Oh, they must be your mother's. Yeah. Please don't ask her about them.
Love to the idea that Monica's entire childhood, actually, I said love. I want to strike that from the record.
Yes.
Confused I guess, that Monica feels like, okay, her boxes are ruined. So now her entire childhood memories go up in smoke. Because, like, I'll tell you what, Mom and Dad saved plenty of our stuff in their basement, while we were getting situated. And I know there was a point in time where it was, hey, do you want any of this stuff? And my answer was, no, I'm good.
Yeah, not really.
Now, I will say, I said that
regrets?
I do have little regrets to getting rid of all of my He-Man action figures, which I could have sold on eBay for something.
Yeah.
And I knew that. And I still was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. And I got rid of them all.
Yeah.
Could have had something there. Could have had something.
Yeah.
That being said,
I think we melted some of them too.
well, those wouldn't have been sold on eBay, I don't think. I would have to give.
I remember in our later years,
Listen, it is
we got
what
more
it is.
creative.
Those, but there were pieces, there were weapons, there were also. I had all of this stuff like that.
Yes.
That would have been a
Yes.
valuable commodity to take back if I wanted to put all the legwork in and sit and sell them all individually or however. I'm sure there was a market out there. That being said, I still, even with that little regret, it's like, got rid of it all.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
I remember them all fondly.
Yeah, I had a pretty good Beanie Baby collection myself.
Yeah, that's worth about zero right now.
But I also, I took the tags off
That's what
of
I'm
them.
saying.
I played with them. It's like I didn't have them in, boxes. I feel like at one point, it was like, oh, keep them in these, little cases. No, that was never my style. So it was not, I like to enjoy stuff. The plan is never to, repackage it and sell it off. But I also understand, for people who are truly collectors, why that would be the way to go about it. It's just never been my style.
And things like that, it comes down to oh, you're looking for this one specific thing, and I had this collection when I was growing up, and I happen to have it, and here it is. That's now worth something. The Beanie Babies, I feel like you're right. Once the tags came off, that was that.
Yeah.
And people,
there was a period of time where they would sell those little plastic things that you could just put over the tag. Yeah. I think I did have some of those.
That would have been mandatory too, because most of the tags, even if you didn't take them off, are probably bent or folded or ruined some one way or the other. That being said, Monica, really,
she got the Porsche.
Listen, Monica, it worked out well. Okay. Ross has got, a handful of old t-shirts and coloring books, and you've got a Porsche. So it's a good day. Even Monica says later on in this episode, best day ever for Monica.
Yes. Yeah. She's all right. But I also Jack is so oblivious that they favor Ross over Monica. And it's
I think that's
so
fair.
Oblivious.
I think that's fair. I think the way it's been written, Jack and Judy don't know that they do that.
I know. It's just hilarious. I'm like, wow. Oh my God. It's just, but hey, she gets the car in the end. I guess
she does have those easy bake ovens. She's got 6 of them.
Oh my God. You can't expect a child to wait for a tiny light bulb to bake those brownies, okay? She was just stuck eating the batter.
No, you
This was
can't.
bad.
No, you can't.
You get a very vivid image of Monica eating batter as a child. So
that is easy to envision. And let's take this, though, and run over to Rosita, where Joey's chair breaks because Rachel is trying to realign the living room so that she has a spot to sit. She ends up breaking the chair, only for them to go out and get another one. And while they're gone, Chandler comes in, thinks he breaks the chair, and so he swaps the Barca loungers with the one in his apartment. Rachel replaces it with the Lazy Boy recliner 3000. The chair that Sit Magazine called Chair of the Year.
wow.
Only for Joey to get super jealous of it and then destroy the newly replaced chair with
Joey.
Thinking, I guess it wasn't healed anymore. I guess I'll just take this great chair now. Thank you very much. And now Chandler's out of chair. Joey's out of chair. And, listen, he's just going to let this new chair comfort him through the new these tough times.
Eric, I have a problem here.
Oh, okay.
I have a problem. How long has Rachel lived in Joey's apartment? How long has she lived there?
Long enough to move a sofa over.
How has she not had a place to sit this entire time?
Well,
what is going on?
I think maybe you could argue that she didn't know that she was going to be there permanently.
I know, but it's been a while now.
It's been a while. And now it is, though, like her place. Like, this is where she is. She is now living with Joey. She's not eventually going to move back in with Phoebe. So this has now become a more specific situation. I think probably the writer said, hey, we should probably do something about this. and this was a great way to do it. And also improve the chair quality.
The new chair looks nice.
Oh, it looks great.
I mean, that looks like a nice chair, but yeah, I just found it wild that Rachel also could just tear Rosita the back off of her like she's Hulk all of a sudden. I'm like, what?
She is the Hulk. She straight ripped that thing right off the back, no problem.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
I do like when they come back from the store after purchasing it and Joey like sits in the chair, or he tries to move the chair and it's connected because it's the one that Chandler brought in. And then he sits down and reclines in it, works just fine. And they're staring at the chair like, how did this possibly happen? And Joey says, if you want something enough and your heart is pure, wondrous things can happen. And I was like, I love that line from him. And it's so good. He's like, yes, believes that the chair has healed.
Wow. Yes. And Rachel's like, no, something else is going on here. Yeah, this is not a thing.
No,
I also enjoyed
she thought it was angels.
Earlier. Oh, God. Yeah. I also enjoy earlier on, before they went out to get the chair, when Rachel suggests to Joey that they need to go to the store, Joey turns back and he's like, she's not even cold yet.
That's true. Oh my.
Yeah, that poor chair. They haven't even laid her to rest, and they're already talking about getting a new one.
No.
But hey,
and
it's this whole situation though, where Chandler does the backwards somersault when he tries to sit in it, is also great.
That is good, and I love Chandler scrambling to get it out of the apartment, and then when he is speaking with Rachel about the Lazy Boy recliner 3000, she says something like, "How do you want to what?" Something along the lines, I'm butchering it now, of like, how would you like to sit in some sort of chair? And he's like, oh, I'd love to, but I've sat in it so many times they won't let me in the store anymore. Which made me think of, what was it, Brookstone? Is that the store?
Yes,
we had a Brookstone in the mall.
Massage chairs.
Yeah, they had a store in the mall near us, had massage chairs and all sorts of stuff. And like, we, of course, as teenagers would go and like sit in them, and it would be awesome. But it would just be cool to sit in them in the moment.
We're not buying anything.
No, we're not buying that chair. What, are you crazy?
Yeah.
Like,
no.
But it was fun to sit in while you were at the mall. And I envisioned Chandler doing that same thing.
Do Brookstones exist anymore?
If they do, there isn't one near me.
No, by me either.
Well, here's the problem. Malls are having a hard time existing. So stores like Brookstone have a tough time existing if there are no malls. Because you're not going to find a standalone Brookstone. I can't imagine.
Brookstone is still in business, kids. But primarily as an online retailer.
There you go.
And in select airport locations.
Okay. That's so funny. That's so funny because I was like, you know who probably competes with Brookstone is like the Air Mall magazine. Like, it's that sort of stuff, right?
Yes.
It's just weird things.
Yes, following Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 2018, the company closed all of its mall-based stores to focus on e-commerce, and the brand is now merged by Blue Star Alliance. Okay,
I don't know what that means, but
I don't know either. I've never heard of Blue Star Alliance. Sounds a little creepy to me.
But
Sounds
like
a cult.
those magazines you would get in the back of a airplane chair that
Totally.
sell like random stuff for ridiculous money. That's Brookstone.
Yeah, 100%. This is Chandler, but how did they end up resolving this? Does he get the chair back? I'm trying to
How this resolves
portion
is
end?
Joey gets the chair that Rachel bought him because his chair was broken.
Yeah.
Chandler now has a broken chair.
Yes.
He gets nothing.
So they still have just one
We
chair.
have one chair still, so Rachel still doesn't have anywhere to sit. And Monica gets to come in and say, I got a Porsche and the Barca Lounger is gone. Best day ever.
That's right.
Well, now we're going to jump into the one where everyone turns 30. And in this one, we have Ross showcasing his purchase of a sports car when he turns 30. We have Phoebe bouncing on a hippity hop, completing her list by the time she turns 30, except she's 31. And we have Chandler throwing a party for Monica on her 30th birthday, only for us to find out that Monica is super drunk.
Hammered. Yeah.
We also get Rachel and Tag. And what Rachel and Tag's situation is basically through this 30th birthday that is Rachel's birthday. And we'll start, I guess, by talking about Rachel being sending Tag out for the ground rules of how everyone is going to treat her during her 30th birthday, not mentioning things like old or over the hill, things along that lines. They all bought her presents from her list. And except for Tag, who got her a scooter. We also have little flashbacks here with Joey's 30th birthday and Chandler's 30th birthday, where Joey is yelling things like, let the others grow old, not me. And then
My God, why?
then Chandler has his 30th birthday. And now, Chandler, we're all getting so old. Why are you doing this to us?
Wow.
Yes. We have Chandler's card to Rachel as well, which is very upsetting to Rachel.
Yes.
But we'll get more into the Rachel side of this. That's kind of like the introduction to all of this, as this kind of becomes a medley episode where we see a little bit of everybody, but none of these storylines take up a ton of time. It's all kind of centered around Rachel's party and then what she does from there. So we've kind of introed that. Any of these want to jump out at you?
Well, I do enjoy the Ross segment where, Monica is reminding the group how Ross bought a convertible when he turned 30, and you just get the scene of him trying to get this tiny red convertible out of a parking space, and he is just squeezed in between two cars. Yeah. My favorite part, though, is where Phoebe busts into the van that's in front of him, because she's just gonna try to, I don't know if her plan was to hotwire this thing or what was happening, but she just went street Phoebe on this thing, and she's opening up the door with a coat hanger or something, and once the alarm goes off, she just turns back and yells "Whole ass!" to the group, and they all start. They all
scatter,
away.
Except for Ross, who's still trying to get the car out. Listen, Phoebe has a lot of good moments in this one. She says to Ross, hey, can I go for a ride? And he's like, hop in. And then he goes forwards and backwards about an inch at a time. And she goes, okay, who's next?
That was her ride. Yeah, she's like, all right, that was really fun. Oh my God. Wow. And then we had another moment that reminded me of the pivot scene with the couch.
Yes.
Where Ross is deciding, we're just going to lift it and slide the car out. So they have everyone on a corner of this car, lift and slide. It doesn't move at all, obviously. These are
No, and they're
despite
all
what
like,
we said about Rachel in the last scene. No, she is not the Hulk. So.
no. And so they, but they're all looking at him like, what are you talking about, Ross? We can't lift the car. He's like, lift and slide. Okay. No, not close.
No.
Not even a little close.
Yeah, but Ross he's basically his dad in this sequence.
Yeah.
Because his dad was also the one who, although I'm thinking, Ross, you are way too young to be going through a midlife crisis. You just turned 30. Like, relax here. What's going to happen when you're 50?
Yeah.
My goodness.
It is not the time. No offense to anybody who's close to or turning 30. 30 is not the time.
30 is a great age. You're not midlife.
No, you're fine. 30 is fine. Yeah. I get it. Around 40, 50, if that's where you're starting to like freak out about things. 30, you're fine.
Yeah.
But I do find it interesting that these two episodes are stacked right next to each other. Because the idea that Ross could have gotten the Porsche and would have been thrilled. Right. And then gets this, and then they show him getting this sports car when he turned 30, only for him, and this is supposed to be in the past, right?
Right, yeah.
For him to look at it and go, ugh, like this guy drives by him and he's like, want to buy a Porsche. No, he wants to sell the car immediately, but yet he would have wanted the Porsche in the previous episode.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't line up. Like, I feel like Ross should have just driven the car out and been thrilled to death to drive the car out.
Right. It's
like
weird.
Seeing the older guy who comes by who's at least 20 years older than Ross.
Yes.
Being like, how hot are we? Like, Ross, you're fine.
Okay.
Drive on.
Right. Who cares? Yeah. You're way hotter than that guy. So it's, you're good. Oh my goodness. I know he's very easily influenced by others. I guess that's what.
Well, when you're going through a crisis, these are the things that happen, I think.
Hey. But Eric, to me, this episode, as much as it's about Rachel, I feel like there are so many good Phoebe moments.
Oh, yeah. Phoebe is not the person that this episode is about, but it is kind of about, but Phoebe is here. Phoebe's being recognized.
And I mean, this is upsetting because she finds out that she's actually 31 when she goes to Ursula. I think might be one of our last, I remember in one of our last episodes, I ran through like all the Ursula showings. And I do recall this might be like the second to last or the third to last moment that we get with Ursula. There aren't too many more.
Well, we get a lot early in the first few seasons. Yes. There are a number of them. And then she kind of just like fades off into the distance and we never see her again.
Yeah.
In fact, Phoebe even says on her 30th birthday that one of the things she wanted to do by the time she was 30 was, reconcile with her sister. Well,
right.
I assume that part of that is the idea that she's just not even tried to reconcile with her sister. And so they just don't even walk down the same paths, which is why we've never seen them together or haven't seen them together for a while. I don't remember how many episodes exactly, but it's been a while.
The last one that we will see her in is season 8, episode 6, the one with the Halloween party, which
yes.
I do remember that one because she ends up dating the guy that she was dating and it's that whole situation. But yes. So, but outside of that, I think, so this is like the second to last one. And yeah, Ursula, she's kind of the worst. She doesn't even know anything about Phoebe. She hardly remembers that Phoebe is even her first name because she thinks it's her middle name. I don't know. Very strange. But my favorite part of the Phoebe sequence is when she's, upset in the coffee shop and she's telling her friends, well, I had all these other things that I wanted to do before I was 31. Like apparently Phoebe has a very specific list of things to do every year for life. I don't know. Eric, do you have that?
No,
I don't have that.
Not even close.
Okay.
I'm just flying by the seat of my pants over here.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So, well, one of her things was that she had to have the perfect kiss before she turned 31. And also she wanted to meet someone who's Portuguese. I guess that wasn't a thing. I find that hard to believe living in New York, but here we are. And so she goes outside. Joey runs out after her and tells her to close her eyes, and they share this very sweet kiss. And it was a really cute moment. Like, I loved like Lisa Kudrow's expression like after the kiss. It was just a very sweet moment. I kind of secretly feel like they would have made a really cute couple, but I also appreciate the fact that they stayed friends.
Yes,
I get it.
I think they hint at it a lot. Like, this would have been really good. This is not the first time we've seen the two of them kiss. The first time was when Phoebe was pretending to be Ursula and broke up with Joey as Ursula. And we see her reaction after that kiss as well. And so there's definitely a implication that the two of them would have really made a nice couple. But I think it makes sense that they didn't do that.
Because they're very close friends. Phoebe, I feel like specifically, is the one with almost more of the crush, but also the one with the hard line that like, no, we're only going to be friends. That would ruin things.
Yes.
So
wholeheartedly.
Yeah. But I love that moment though. It was very sweet.
Very nice. And guess what? Joey's also 1/16th Portuguese. So you can go ahead and check that off the list too.
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh. But then Eric, Monica's birthday. Oh,
Lord.
We get more of the Gellers here.
Yeah, Chandler's trying to throw a party for her. She comes in drunk. The Gellers are there. So now Chandler's got to try to bring Monica into the party. That's a surprise party for her while she's hammered. And, it's just a nightmare. It's just nightmare fuel everywhere. It's capped off by the speech that Monica gives where she says something along the lines of, you know what I really want to say? I'm drunk. That's right, Mom and Dad. Your little harmonica is drunk. I've been drunk before, too. And then she just like falls over at some point. Yes, and it's like
literally just collapses.
Okay.
I could do anything that I want because I'm a grown up. And then she just falls over. Like, wow.
And then Phoebe though is trying. She's trying to show how drunk she is to take the views off of Monica. And at this moment, while Ross is videotaping this whole thing from Jack's camcorder, Phoebe then starts saying like, hey, quick, take my top off. And so Ross then swings the camcorder over and it's never to be showcased. Wow. But it's funny how that's the scene ends.
I know. There's this moment too, Eric, where before Monica shows up between Joey and Chandler, where Joey is trying to like fix his tie. But he tells Chandler that it hurts Joey's apple.
Yes.
And Chandler says, for the last time, it's not named after each individual man.
I do like the fact that this is a conversation that they've had a lot. Like, this is obviously a thing that's been said multiple times.
Yes.
Yeah. This sequence was fun to see Monica being a little different. I do think the scene is one of the funnier ones. But it also, I think, shows Chandler trying to do something really nice for Monica. Adult like, Chandler. Hey, she always wants the super fancy stuff. We're all going to get dressed up. And we're going to do this real fancy party. And then when she does, when they all have it all squared away, he's still able to like get her in, get her changed, like do the whole thing. And it is going well for Chandler until Phoebe yells, speech.
Oh gosh. Well, I do have to say though, now really thinking about this, Eric, Chandler's one mistake here is that knowing Monica, I feel like he could have framed it as a surprise party for everyone else, but he actually should have told her because she loves knowing everything about everything that's going on. You know what I mean? So I feel like he should have been like, we're doing this party for you. Like I've put together this party and you just need to show up in a fancy dress because her just rolling out of work, showing up to this fancy surprise party. I don't know. That's my one commentary. And that way she definitely wouldn't have been drunk. But
She
how
would have
many
been
times was
more-
Monica going out and getting hammered anyway?
Yeah,
That doesn't seem like a common occurrence for her.
So the way you do that is to not make it a surprise party. You just have to say, hey, this is the party that we're having.
That too.
Yeah, like, because how is she supposed to show up super fancy for a surprise?
Okay, right. Okay, that's true. And I guess the idea is that she lives there, so she could just quickly get dressed and then come back out. And it's
mean, I think you could have done that either way. I think that makes sense. Yeah. I didn't have too much of an issue with that side of the storyline, but I get it. I get what you're saying.
Look, one of the funniest moments of this whole episode though is where Chandler tells her, now act surprised when you go in, and her scream is like one of the funniest things because she just turns around and just screams bloody murder like someone's attacking her instead of like like surprise, like a normal reaction to a surprise.
Yeah. The idea that she went with like terrified scream and not surprised scream is funny. And
so funny.
You don't realize that there's a difference between the two until you see it. And that was wrong. That reaction was very wrong.
Everyone looks at her like, what the hell?
And then, of course, she does it and then looks kind of like to herself like, yeah, nailed it. Like she pulled it over.
Oh, my gosh.
Really, really good.
I love drunk Monica.
Yeah. Phoebe does.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. This is another, but okay. Well, let's get into the last section here with Rachel and Tag.
Rachel.
So we've already gone through the ground rules of it all, and we have Chandler giving her a card, which is funny, but also says things like, "Happy birthday, Grandma! Better to be, what was it? Over the hill than buried under it."
Under it, yeah.
And
you had
like,
one job.
Well, Rachel's reaction though is, well, it's funny because it says I'm a grandma and I have to have kids and be married to be a grandma and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, man. Like,
she's
didn't
crying while she
realize the dominoes that were being put in play here, which leads her, though, to this logical, although unrealistic, but logical thought process of, okay, well,
she's doing the math.
I want to have my first kids by the time that I'm 35. So then I need to have this and I need to have this and I need to have this in place, and starts walking backwards, 35 to 34 to 33 to 32. And she gets all the way to 30, which perfect timing. As I have said, my most memorable scene with Tag when she's like, well, that means I have to know the guy by the time I'm 30. And then you hear Tag, woo! Like jump into frame in the door on the scooter, thumbs up. And you get Joey chasing him. Quit hogging it. And it's like, oh.
Yes.
And
amazing.
I think I might have the sequencing wrong, but this is where Ross is also like, he just grabs 2 candles off the cake. He's like, well, that's good because you just turned 28.
28. I love that from Ross. Yes. I also love Ross's comment to Tag, stick to the list. Always stick to the list.
Yeah.
Although he knows Rachel tends to return gifts, but
this is true. But I'll tell you what, Ross has bought gifts that were not returned. He bought that, to at least what we know, he bought that like brooch or something in the very first season. Remember the crystal duck?
She always wanted it. That's right. No.
That they saw in a window that one time.
That's when Chandler outed Ross. Yes.
Yes, and when Joey was sitting next to the fruit basket lady, who still bothers me that she was in that scene. But
that was really random. Yes.
But anyway, we get this whole countdown only for Rachel to realize, hey, if I really want to be on some relative timeline expected to be what I'm hoping for in my life, my long-term life goals, then I can't be just messing around dating. I need to be looking for like the guy now. Yeah. And so she goes out and has this breakup sequence with Tag in the hallway, where she's, obviously likes him, obviously is still cares about him. But at the same time, it's weird. Like this is not really a thing, and it is weird. But I think the only reasoning here is, hey, listen, I like you a lot, you like me, we're good together. But at the same time, I'm not gonna marry you.
She's not like in love with him.
No,
that's clear.
It's similar to like Ross and Elizabeth, I think. Where it's like, hey, listen, it's not gonna be a thing, so. I gotta cut this out here.
It is strange because it's like, she's really kind of integrated him into the friends group, like has him around a lot. She works with this guy. It just seems like she's sacrificing, like really rolling the dice here on someone that she's just like hanging out with. Like it just seemed, and which is exactly like Ross with Emily. I'm like, it seems like you're sort of putting a lot on the line for this to potentially be like, this isn't even important.
Ross with Emily or Ross with Elizabeth?
I mean, I'm sorry. Elizabeth. I was going
to say, Ross with Emily was fine.
Yeah, no. Ross with Elizabeth. It's like you guys are putting a lot potentially on the line. Like things could go pretty bad in your work. And you're integrating these people into their social life. I mean, we didn't see Rachel meeting Tag's parents, but it's like Ross met Elizabeth's dad. Like it's just a lot for someone that you're not really in love with,
I will say the biggest thing is what you're mentioning there with the career. Like we watched painfully, I will say personally, we watched Rachel really roll the dice at work to date this guy because she had a crush on him, only to, once it finally all gets like hammered out and resolved, to realize she's got to end this thing. And I feel like Friends, if I was going to give it a critique, it would be that it is all about the chase. And then once they acquire the person, they're gone quickly.
It's pretty rough.
Elizabeth, gone quick. Gary, gone quick. Tag, gone quick. Like these people, the only ones who were not gone quick are Richard and Emily.
Yeah, even the Gary thing. That's a good point, Eric. I feel like there was never even a conversation.
They moved in. They moved in together. He shot a bird and it ended everything.
Okay. That's messed up.
But okay, fair enough. This is a police officer who has guns around, right? Like that is the whole thing. Right.
Open fire in New York, probably still not a great idea.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that.
But still, in reality, though, it's like you're in love with him, you moved in with him, and then it's just like done. Like that's it. Okay.
Yeah, it is what it is. The heart wants what it wants.
Yeah, maybe I'm being a little too. I don't know, but it's okay. The part that really bothered me though is Rachel's comment to him saying, "You're just a kid." Okay. Now I'm creeped out. What is happening? You're calling him a kid?
Listen, if that was the case, what are we even doing with this whole thing? And this is where
what is happening?
I think if people are bothered by Tag, this is part of why that is. Where it's like we have this whole chase down that was really awkward, only for Rachel to then basically say, "Hey, you're a child. I need to not be with you." Why didn't you know that from the get? Like, what are we doing? Yeah, it just wasn't the best way to do it.
I'm trying to look back on when were we introduced to Tag?
To Tag?
Oh,
it was like the second episode, I think. Second or third of this season.
Yeah.
It's either the one with Rachel's book. No, the one with Phoebe's cookies, probably. Oh, the one with Rachel's assistant, episode 4. That's the one.
Episode 4.
Yeah, the one with Rachel's assistant.
Okay.
I see wheels turning in your head right now, trying to figure out what
sorry guys. I know there's silence. It felt like he was in for as many episodes as Emily, but I mean, as Elizabeth, sorry, I keep using Emily's name as Elizabeth, but really he wasn't. I mean, I think it's even less because Elizabeth was around for almost an entire season.
Well, Okay. Oh, I don't think that's totally true though either.
Oh, maybe it's no. I guess it wasn't.
I would
it
say
really was like the back half of.
I would say it's similar.
Yeah.
The Elizabeth thing is different because there were probably 3 episodes of Ross chasing after Elizabeth and it being forbidden. And then there were 3 episodes of it not really being about Elizabeth, it being about Elizabeth's dad.
Yeah.
So it was probably about 6 or 7 episodes. That's good for the kids out there. Know what I just did?
Yeah.
You're too old. You don't know.
Okay. This is crazy.
See? Anyway.
Elizabeth was actually only in 5 episodes of Friends.
That's what I'm
Is
saying.
that true?
Well, probably.
Wow. Okay. All right. And Tag is in 7 episodes. Okay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
wow.
I think Elizabeth.
It felt like, yeah.
Elizabeth was in 2 episodes then to get the ball rolling, 3 then with Bruce Willis.
Right.
And that's 5.
Yeah.
Now, one of those,
but
like, she might have been in an episode where she didn't have any lines, and she just, I don't know if it counted that or not, where she was just like at a door saying goodbye to him once.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, Tag's definitely been in more episodes than she was, but it's also been a lot less of the time. I feel like the Elizabeth scenes were longer scenes. Tag's had some episodes where he was in briefly, but he's had lines and everything.
Well, and remember, we still do have him. He reappears later on.
He does.
So that's
another
he's
one.
really,
so
and
it's
that's
really
a
only
very,
been 6.
very brief moment. Yeah. So it's been only 6 so far. Yeah. Well, all right. Bye, Tag. See you later, buddy.
See ya.
We'll cross
Don't let the
paths
door
again,
hit you on the way out.
Yeah. Wow.
Now we're going to jump into our IMDb segment ratings portion of our podcast where we talk about our ratings versus your ratings as we find them on IMDb, plus our favorite and least favorite characters. Amanda, you know I usually ask you, but I'm going to go first this time. And I'm going to go first because I want to get out in front of this. I want to break my Joey streak before you have an opportunity to get in my face about it all. I'm not going to lie. He was high up there again. He was real good again. Okay, but I will break it in favor of Phoebe. Loved Phoebe in these episodes. And I will say, I started this whole podcast with, don't love this storyline with Jason Alexander.
I know, it's true. Yeah.
So, but didn't love all of that. So she started out poorly, but she really rallied in the one where they all turned 30, being a part of Ross's car, being a part of the party, being a part of the her and Ursula story, being a part with Joey then afterwards. And she did still have a couple of really good moments in that first episode. Not as many, but a couple. Really, really liked Phoebe's contributions today. I think, in all honesty, it's hard to pick a least, but I will start with Phoebe as my favorite, and I will let you pick it up from there.
Okay, you stole my thunder with the favorite.
That's why I wanted to.
Because
I wanted to get out in front of it.
Things. So I'm gonna jump in with my least first. This was actually a little bit tough for me to pick a least because I didn't feel super strongly about disliking. So I had to go with Ross because I just found him a little bit. I'm like, Ross, the medical Marvel thing when all of Monica's stuff has already been destroyed and you're still going on about, well, can you tell me that story one more time while we're working? And him just being such a baby about the convertible. And yeah, again, as I said before, he's just way too young to be having this midlife crisis about his own car in the next episode. So I just felt like Ross, I don't know, out of everyone, he was my least favorite behaviorally. I felt like no one else had that moment for me where they just bothered me. So I, as you did, I also went with Phoebe as my favorite, just for really all the same reasons. I mean, she was just, I felt like she had the funniest moments out of everyone in these 2 episodes by far. So, yeah.
I was down to Ross or Chandler for my least favorite character.
Yeah, right.
And
right.
Like, here's the thing. When it comes to Ross, he has some not great moments, like you said. And I actually think Chandler had some very sweet moments throughout this whole thing. And I feel like we started to get Chandler back a little bit here with the
chair.
With the chair, and then little lines like, Joey, it's not a Joey's apple. It's not named like just the one-liners coming back a little bit. Like I felt like we were starting to get into, back to Chandler a little. But I will say the pieces of Ross, I like watching him try and get the car out of the parking spot is funny to me. When Monica gets handed the Porsche and he does that, like, what? But at that high level, it might be the biggest laugh I get out of that episode or that segment of that episode.
Okay,
so I'm going to go with Chandler, but Ross was right there. He was right next to it.
Yeah, he was right there. Yeah, it's I know the Chandler, that is fair. I know. I like those little moments. I like the physical comedy from Matthew Perry coming back with like him going to sit in the chair and just doing like a backward somersault off the back of it. But yeah, because I've missed that. That's what made me kind of realize, wow, we really haven't had as many of those moments from him this season.
Like watching him scramble around last season trying to hide it all too, and then running around trying to get the engagement squared away. Like we really had a lot of good Chandler moments, and now it's like part of the wedding planning, but Chandler's not really able to be involved in the wedding planning, so he's kind of in this weird spot where they don't want to have him do some of those things.
Right.
And so I feel like we started to see it kind of like the old Chandler start to come back around, which is nice. Yeah. And I am optimistic for the future, but wasn't quite there yet. How about ratings, Amanda? I'll let you go first here on ratings.
All right. So I like the one where Rosita dies a bit more. I gave that one an 8.3.
Okay.
And I gave the one where they all turn 30 an 8.1.
Okay.
I like both of these as far as like flashback episodes go, because yes, we have established it is a flashback, even though we did not see those moments previously. We were going back in time. So that's a little flashback to one of our episodes. But anyway, yes, as far as flashback episodes go, the one where they all turned 30 was better than others. But I just didn't. It was a little bit more disjointed. I really just don't. I didn't feel like anything about Rachel and Tag breaking up. Like it really didn't draw anything out of me at all. I'm like, okay, that's over.
It really isn't that storyline. It's how much you like the other ones, I think, that will.
The Monica one is the funniest out of that episode for me. But
the Monica one is the funniest one out of that section. You're not wrong about that. Well, I will relay this into mine. I went with the one where Rosita dies being an 8.5. I feel like that's just a really standard classic Friends episode.
I can see that.
I think, like I said, the section there with Jason Alexander, it's not my favorite storyline, but as I said at the beginning, if Jason Alexander wasn't the guest star, no one would care about this storyline. But he is the guest star, so you do care a little bit about that storyline, and I do like seeing him present in the Friends universe, if you will. So that to me is enough to keep it a little bit higher than some of the others. When they all turned 30, I gave it an 8.2. Like, you and I are pretty much on the same page here. Flashback episodes, not my favorite, and I really dislike them when they stack them all like into their own independent things. So we had like 4 stories going in this one. It feels like you never get enough of any of them. You're right.
Right.
Monica's party was the best.
It was the most fleshed out.
I think there are also stretches of the Phoebe storyline that were good. Like doing the...
And Ross's. Okay. Yeah.
Well, Ross's was just the sports car, and it sits weird for me because it's after the Porsche episode.
Yeah. Right.
So
awkward timing.
It's just bad timing. So anyway, I'm gonna go 8.5 on the one where Rosita dies, and the one where they all turn 30, 8.2.
So what are the people saying?
The people are actually opposite us. They have the one where they all turn 30 as an 8.4. That is the better one.
Okay.
So they gave it an 8.4. You gave it 8.1. I gave it 8.2. And then the one where Rosita dies, they give an 8.2. You gave it an 8.3. I gave it an 8.5. And so I don't hate that. At one point, I had actually written them down opposite, like the one where they all turn 30 a little bit better. But, I on second thought, I'm with you here. I think the one where Rosita dies is just a touch better.
Yeah. I mean, they're both pretty like solid Friends episodes, I would say. Rewatch worthy for sure.
Well, let me put this out into the world though. Okay.
Please.
You mentioned that the ratings this year are a little bit lower, right? Episode 6 of season 7 got an 8.7. Okay.
Yeah, that's
only
true.
Only once has another episode got to an 8.5. That was the one where they're up all night. That was on our last podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. In season 5, they had 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes get to a 9.
Yeah. Right.
They had 5 episodes, 2 back to back, getting to a 9.
9.7.
There was a 9.7 in the mix. Like, they were crushing in season 5.
Yeah.
And this year, we haven't had one get a 9. We haven't had one sniff 9 yet.
Yeah.
The only 9 that's been handed out this whole season is the one with the holiday armadillo. You gave a 9.1 to, of all of us. Like, I haven't given out a 9 yet either. It's just...
Yeah.
They're good, but there's nothing drawing you to that next tier. And listen, the Holiday Armadillo got an 8.7 from me. That's one of my highest ratings on the year too. I'm with you.
Well, we've seen, was it 4 7.9s from the people?
We have.
So
now
that's much. That was just, I feel like that's made an impact for me. I didn't realize, that it was sort of, but at the same time, I look at those episodes and I'm like, yeah, okay, I get that. Like, it's nothing that I was horribly offended by. Like,
no.
When you really look at the episode, it's like, I understand why it's lower. It just wasn't as crazy.
I'll say this. Next week, we are going over episodes 15 and 16. That is the one with Joey's new brain and the one with the truth about London. Now, that episode...
Oh, yeah.
That episode...
That's a good flashback
where
one.
It's a flashback, right? Where we get a flashback into, like, how Monica and Chandler began. I think that one has an opportunity to set the bar this season. We'll see.
Yes.
But it feels like an episode that would do that because it's got to have something nostalgic to it. And now you're taking that moment that everybody loved of the discovery of Chandler and Monica, and you are now going to like flush out that story. I think that's going to be one that I will probably
Yes.
be rating highly. We'll see.
Yes.
We'll see. I still got to rewatch it, but it feels like one that could be up there.
In the next episode, the one with Joey's new brain, all I can hear is Ross going, "A brain transplant."
Yeah. It's not something that happens. Nope.
Yes.
So we'll see how that
Look
shakes
forward
out.
to that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much for listening to the We Run on Reruns podcast. Please check us out on our social media, Instagram, YouTube, all the other platforms we're out there on. Subscribe, again, where possible. Like, follow, share, repost, all the fun things you could do there. Don't forget we're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. You can give us 5-star ratings there. And you can find us at werunon.reruns.com, our own website, where we have all of these podcasts in their full. So, for Amanda, this is Eric. Enjoy watching episodes 15 and 16 of season 7, the one with Joey's new brain, and the one with the truth about London for next week. Happy rerunning, everybody.
See you later, guys.